Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, so we have a really great episode today. I'm having a conversation with Lyons from Chakra Girl Co. and diving into how she made $100,000 in her first year in business, then $300,000 the second year, then $1 million the third year, and then again the fourth year in business, which is where she is now. And wow, it was just, there's so much practical stuff in here with going into like how to actually identify chakra blocks that are affecting your business, what are the symptoms of that, and a lot of behind the scenes. Like we really dig into like what her team looks like and what decisions she's making within her business. So I really know you're going to love it. I'm really excited to share it with you. And just a reminder, very friendly reminder that the Alchemical Business Intensive is open now for application. You can check out the link in the show notes to read through our very thorough explanation page of what the Alchemical Business Intensive really is, but essentially it's a 13-week container where you and a small group of women, online business owners, will come together and we'll be going through everything you need to really create the foundations and the systems within your business so that your business is a separate entity than you, so that it is strong and resilient and has strength outside of you, so that you don't have to funnel your energy, your money into it. Instead, it can support you. So you can be empowered, unstoppable as this really beautiful role of visionary CEO. So enjoy the episode. Check out the Alchemical Business Intensive. We are getting started on March 8th, which is so soon. And the cutoff for applications is March 5th, Friday, March 5th. But I recommend just putting in your application now so you can get on a 30-minute call with me sooner than later to really decide if it's right for you. And yeah, see you at the end of the episode. Hi, everyone. Today I'm here with your spiritual BFF, Amberly Lyons. Amberly is the founder of the Chakra Girl Co., a platform dedicated to inspiring modern women to embrace their spirituality while being their authentic and Gucci bag loving selves. Amberly's podcast, Chakra Girl Radio, gives her listeners an inside look at the chaos, drama, and happenings that take place between meditations when you're living a fast-paced life. So welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, Amberly.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and so it is Aquarius season. I know you're in Aquarius, so how did you celebrate your birthday?
So I actually went to Whistler. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I live in Vancouver. So we have like this little ski resort city, kind of like, like a little bougie village. And I just went with one of my friends and we ate delicious food and drank wine and hot tubbed and shopped. It was fabulous.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes.
Do you feel wiser?
You know what I do? I do. I mean, I feel like for everyone, like last year was really like a year of growth and expansion. And to have this kind of like milestone of a birthday is just such a good time to reflect on everything. And it's like, damn, there have been changes.
So what were your biggest changes for 2020 then?
Well, for me, a lot of it revolved around like health, and just like really just putting more priority into like health and self-care, which has always been such a priority for me, but really just taking it to the next level. And then the other biggest thing was just really changing the way that I think and speak and teach about manifestation and bringing more like consciousness to it. And I think a lot of people felt that 2020 was the year that they realized that like money doesn't really matter and that it's like the people in your life, your day-to-day bliss that matters. And yeah, money is like an amazing vehicle to get there. And we should never be rude to money or be angry at money or think money is bad. But we have the ability to like create those energies in our day every day. And when we do that, that's when the money comes in. So rather than like chasing money for the sake of having money, chasing freedom, love, bliss, and purpose, and not even chasing them, embodying them, because we already have the ability to turn that on in any second. And then that's when, you know, more of that comes in, whether that's in form of money or whether that's in form of connections or opportunities or anything that's going to expand you. So that was, I mean, it was stuff that we know, right? It's stuff that we know, but really like putting it into practice and just like changing the wording and moving manifestation from like a 3-dimensional like process to a 5-dimensional embodiment.
And for health as a priority, was that a health scare or was that just I'm home, so I want to take care of myself?
Yeah, I mean, so actually at first, so like when we were on like full on like lockdown in like March 2020, I just felt like it was like, you know, that like kind of like snow day feeling where it's like,
yeah.
home and like I have no responsibilities. Like I don't know why I felt that way. But so like we were like, oh, this restaurant does delivery. This restaurant does delivery now. We were like eating, we were like drinking wine, and we were just like living our lives. And then that started to show with my pants not fitting. And I always had this like belief that I hate working out and I can't work out from home. And like, that's not my vibe. And like, that's so lame. Like, I don't know. I just like always had this weird thing about like working out. And I just like I ended up falling in love with it. And I lost like 15 pounds within like, I think like a 6-month span. And then I did have a health situation as well, where I actually had like appendicitis and I had to get my appendix removed. So it went from okay, I'm going to like do all this self-care for, you know, for the outside stuff. And then it was like, okay, now I need to do the inside stuff. And it was really like an awakening. And I think like having to get my appendix removed was, it was also like a spiritual exorcism. Like it was like a release, like it was like a removing of like old patterns. So yeah, there was like a spiritual body connection that I gained. And yeah, it's like still a work in progress. And I'm still working on optimizing and bringing my health again from like a 3D perspective to like a 5D perspective. But that's, yeah, a part of the journey that I'm still working on.
Do you want to give us a quick lowdown on what 5D is about?
Yeah. So the consciousness on Earth is changing. And I think people are feeling that. So 3rd-dimensional consciousness is very linear. It's like, if this, then this. Most people think this way. If you watch the news, you're probably in 3D consciousness. If you're, you know, believing everything in the news, you're probably in 3D consciousness. Sorry. Which is not a bad thing. Like most people are there. Okay. 4D consciousness is an awakening, where you start to kind of realize that like the structures and the institutions that you thought were here to keep you safe are actually not. And you start to wake up to that. So in 4D, there's still a lot of fear, but there's a lot of self-discovery, and there's a lot of, like it's like a waking up. And in 5D, that is where we're like, okay, no matter what's going on in the world, I know I'm here at this time for a reason. And I'm here to be like a beacon of light and to share and to heal myself. And by healing myself, I'm healing the collective. So it's really being a part of this collective expansion of consciousness. So it's kind of like a bird's eye view. It's like if you're like looking at like, for example, like if you're looking at 2 people having an argument and you know they're like so in the weeds of this argument, like it's very he said, she said, but like your tone was like this, and it's like they've ended up forgetting like what they're even arguing about because they're arguing about their argument. Like that's like very 3D, like the facts, like the details, like very like everything's black or white and judgmental. But if you were to like rise up a few levels and look at the overarching issue. And it's like, okay, two people that love each other, that want the same thing. They both want to be happy. And they're, here, and the answer is for them to do some inner healing to both be happy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the different, it's like it's like embodying a different perspective of every situation from like a more bird's eye view that is anchored in love. Literally, love has answered everything. And in 5D, we're in complete embodiment and knowing that. So we're not getting so stuck in the weeds where, fear, shame, guilt, all those things live. We're embodying in love and using that. And that doesn't mean, I hate the term spiritual bypassing. I feel like it's so overused. And I feel like some people are spiritual bypassing by calling something spiritual bypassing. But I don't mean being all love and light at all. I mean, doing your own healing and making love your goal in everything. And when love is your goal, you know that you have to go into your shadows and do some healing sometimes. So that's what I mean by that.
So you're the first person I heard talk about 4D as this place where you're like diving into the conspiracy theories and like waking up to a lot of things. And it really rung true because I live on Maui and there's like this whole like group of people who are just, they've been obsessed with the conspiracy theories for years. And they're like all of the things and this and blah, blah, blah. And you you get them going and it's just like a spiral train. And when you were explaining it, you were saying like, we're not supposed to live there. We're supposed
exactly. To like I say, it's like the dingy gas station on a road trip. You go in, you get what you need and you leave. But it's necessary. And I know some people who I like explain this to, and they're like, yeah, I didn't even go to that I didn't even bother going through the conspiracy theories because I know that it doesn't matter. And like, I'm just like gonna like avoid it and like be in this like 5D blah blah blah. I'm like, honestly, you need to go through the darkness. Like, I'm not saying it has to necessarily be the conspiracy theories, right. But it's a step that you cannot skip to go through and realize that the way that you've been thinking is not the way that things are. Like, it's like the limited thinking that you've been doing is not helping you. And of course, when we feel the unsafeness of that, there will be darkness, there will be fear, whether that's from conspiracies or whether that's having a fallout with your family or whether that's from, looking at like a prime example of 3D versus 5D is like the election, right? So it's like these people saying like, he's going to save us. These people saying, no, he's going to save us. And that's like, they're both in 3D. And it's like, you need to go through the 4D to realize they're both shit before you can get to the 5D of no one's saving me except myself and my own healing and my own, connection to source. So you have to, it's like, I think you have to do some digging, whether it's with politics or whether it's with your family or whether it's with a relationship that you're in. Whatever you think is keeping you safe, but you intuitively know that it's not, you need to like dive deep on that. And it's going to look different for everyone, but you can't skip that step. Like, I know so many spiritual or people that like don't even really dabble in spirituality at all, who don't really do that much healing. Maybe they meditate here or there, read a few books, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm in 5D for sure. And I'm like, no, you just like, you're in avoidance. That's what you're in. So yeah, just being mindful of that.
So your business is all, I mean, I know you've moved past chakras in some ways with your new offerings and stuff, but I would really, really love if you could walk us through the chakras and how certain blockages could be affecting our businesses.
Like okay. What that might look like. Yeah, they're so connected. So we'll start with the root chakra. So the root chakra, let me just start with talking about chakras quickly. So chakras are transmitters and receptors. So they're constantly transmitting a frequency and receiving a frequency. So obviously the way that we take action and the energy that we're in when we take action in our business is going to directly affect the result. So it's like you could be doing the exact same strategy as someone else, but if your energy is off while you're doing it, you're not going to get the same result. And I think everyone listening to this knows that to some extent. So that's why it's so important to go through and do like the chakra clearing as it relates to the common business self-sabotages and blocks. So with the root chakra, and obviously every chakra does a multitude of things for our life. We'll focus on business and those kind of like earlier stages of business, or those parts where you're kind of like scaling or creating something new. So root chakra is about your foundation. So that is the energy of the root chakra is about grounding, but it's also about momentum. I say you have to root down in order to rise up. So if your root chakra is activated, you're going to feel very grounded in what you're creating, and you're going to understand your mission and that, the momentum that you want to create. You're going to know where you want to go. You're going to have that clear vision, and you're going to be clear on kind of like the who, where, what, how of what you're creating, and like very, very grounded. Because I feel like there's so many people, like I do business coaching as well, and there's so many people that are like, oh yeah, I want to be a coach and I want to help people. And it's like, but with what? Like, what are you helping them with? How are you helping them? Like, it's like, you need to be so specific. And that way of thinking, it's like a light bulb that turns on once you realize, oh, I need to think of results. Like I need to think of like the whole picture of what I'm providing versus, oh, I do Reiki. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, but for who and how, and what are the results that they get and how, you know what I mean? Like that method, like what is your method? So that's the root chakra. And then the sacral chakra is about things like our breath. Like, so the sacral chakra is about like creativity, emotional connection, and feminine power. So when we create our visual brand, we need that creativity, and we need to be able to emote through our visuals. Like we need to be able to, people need to have an emotional connection to us through everything from our font to our photos to, the way our Instagram looks, like all those things. You need to trigger an emotion in people, right? You need to, and not in a way of, oh, make them think something or make them feel something. It's like, no, they need to connect to it, and they need to feel, this girl understands me and I feel connected to this. And then also another part of your brand is your story. So your sacral chakra needs to be activated in order for you to connect to your own emotional story and to have worked through any guilt or shame around, your worthiness, and to put that energy into telling your story in an empowering way. So this is where, so for my clients, like when we work on sacral chakra, this is when we're working on like your sales page, your brand, like those, your content, like how are you sharing this? Like, how are you emoting this? And then the next is the solar plexus. And so solar plexus is like everything. Like you need your solar plexus. That's your motivation. That's your excitement. I don't love the word discipline, but it is essentially that. I feel like it has like a negative connotation to it, but like your own like willpower. And that is required when you start putting everything together. Like when you're building your website, you're going to need that energy. And then also when you're putting yourself out there, now that you know what you're doing from your root chakra, you know how you're saying it in your sacral chakra. Now it's time to like share that. So your solar plexus is like your je ne sais quoi. It's your spark. It's your energy, your it factor. So you going out there, and I always say like if your solar plexus is not balanced, I always like think of like Ross Geller from Friends, where he's like, hi, like he's so like monotone, like a wet blanket, right? Like no one's going to buy from you. Like, sorry, like people want to work with people who expand them. You can't be an expander unless you have a high vibrational energy and you're motivated and you're moving your life forward and you're walking your talk. So that is the solar plexus, like getting like the website and then putting yourself out there and essentially being magnetic, right? And then that's abundance as well. So the more magnetic energy that we can share with the world and the more we can put ourselves out there in an authentic way, the more people are just like literally magnetized energetically, scientifically to us. And then the heart chakra is really your service, your consistent content, and the heart chakra runs through our hands as well. And like, really runs through our whole body. It's literally what's circulating life to our bodies. So if you can imagine like your right hand is the masculine and that's the giving. And then your left hand is the feminine, which is the receiving. And then your heart is like your heart center. So your gratitude, your, your excitement to share, like all of those things. So if you can imagine like on every exhale, you're sending value out into the world and it's going and connecting with all these people and radiating with all these people. And then because you've done that, you're giving them all this value and giving them all this love, then they're going to come in and they're going to, you're going to receive, they're going to pay you, they're going to come into your space, they're going to come into your community. And then that runs up, into your heart. And then in the heart, we need to feel the gratitude. And then once we feel the gratitude, then we can give more and then we receive more and then we have more gratitude. And like that keeps expanding, like it's a heart chakra expander. So the value that you're giving and your ability to receive, because when we work on the energetic side of that, because in my program we'll work like for example, we'll work on the energetic side of the heart chakra for a week, like opening up those receptors and those transmitters. And then the next week we work on like the business strategy of it. So when we're working on the energy, that's what we're working on. And then when we step into the business, it's like, okay, like value, like how much value are you giving? So this is where we start to talk about like webinars. We start to talk about freebies. We start to talk about like, hopping on like little free information calls, doing Instagram lives, like giving, so that you're touching as many people as possible. And then once we get to like the receiving part, it's like, are you set up to receive money? Like, do you have contracts in place? Do you have, can people physically pay you? Do you have your accounts set up? Do you have like the legal stuff set up? Like, are you open to receive? And just, making sure, and it's even, are you asking for the sale? Like, are you letting people know what you offer? That's another piece of receiving. So that's a big one. And then throat chakra is like really putting it out there. This is where they would be, throat chakra is about communication and connection and, sharing what you want to share with the world. So this is when they're actually going out there, in the heart chakra, they kind of planned these webinars, these trainings, the value that they want to give. Throat chakra is when people get a little bit like, everyone kind of hits a wall at this part of the program where they're like, oh, but like now I have to actually put it out there. Like, oh, like I have to actually share this with people. And so there's a lot of self-sabotage work that we do in there because our anxiety lives in our throat chakra. And thinking like as women, we were literally hung by our necks, like when, as witches or as healers, a lot of us carry that trauma around. And then that blocks us from wanting to put ourselves out there, from wanting to fully be seen, from wanting to fully be expressed. So there's a lot of inner work to do on that. And then it's like, okay, here's the strategies to go out there and share what you have with the world in the most effective way. And then third eye chakra is like, okay, now you've done that. Let's do the reflecting. You've got this big vision, now you've gone out there and put your business out there. We've, put this new offering out there. Now I don't like the words postmortem, but like, that's what it is. Like you're looking at like, okay, what happened? What do I need to shift? What do I want to change? What else can I give? What else can I do? And like using your intuition to access the how, because we hold the big vision and then we listen to the intuition for the how for the rest. And then crown chakra is when we're like connected, we are scaling. We're like, okay, now I know how to sell that program. Like, what's next? How am I going to scale this? What's my next big vision? And we're kind of just looking forward because crown chakra is about that connection to source. And you have to think of like, once all these chakras are now spinning, it's like, there's infinite potential. So expand, like always like, elevating the bar for yourself and being like, okay, I'm a new freaking person now. So what's next for me? You know, what else? And it's like not about not honoring where you're at. Like obviously a big part of working with me is like celebrating every single moment of every single win of every single step that you take. But it's also, you know, self-mastery is one of our core values. So it's like, once you've achieved that, what other vision can you move forward to? And can we start to plan and plant seeds for? So I know that was a lot, but I was like, I'm just gonna like go for it and get it all out there. So there you have it.
So what has your journey through entrepreneurship looked like? Like, why did you decide to go into business, and what were like what have been the different phases of business? Because I know I've seen you post you're like at 7 figures, maybe multiple 7 figures right now.
Yeah. So like back in the day, I actually started as like a jewelry business that was for like crystal and gemstone jewelry to help you with your chakras.
How many years ago was that?
Yeah, no one cared. Like no one cared. Like I sold very few jewelries. But I had so many people messaging me being like, how did you unblock your chakras to start your business? So then, I launched a one-on-one coaching program, teaching people, you know, exactly what I just told you guys. Actually, no, not really. Yeah. I mean, yes, I did. It was, and it wasn't. So it's like, I kind of like held back on the chakra stuff a little bit. And then I finally like really added it in. So I started like business coaching, and then I finally really like came out with like the chakra stuff. And then, once I worked with people like I was like hustling, we don't need to be hustling, but I'm saying like I was taking, like I would have like 14 one-on-one clients at once. Like I was like, I want to like get really good at this. Right. And I want to like make this like clockwork. So I did that for like a year, and then I launched a group program. And then I just like kept relaunching the group program, and once I'd launched it once or twice, I then now had all of these next level clients who were, I didn't want to work with like a million people one-on-one. So I actually stopped doing one-on-one. I moved all of like the top performing clients into a high level mastermind. Then I had my group program, and I would have like VIP levels of each of them so that like some people could get some one-on-one. And then I also did like a VIP one-on-one that was like $30,000, and like sold it to like my top clients who I like had already worked with for a long time and knew that I like loved working with. And it like involved like a one-on-one retreat with each of us. So like I took one of the girls to Iceland, and I took the other girl to Hawaii.
Oh God,
it was
so
amazing.
Fun.
So fun. And then I was doing the mastermind, and then I started scaling Chakra Girl Business School, and in a way where I could have like lots of girls in there at once. I think we have like at any given time like 80 to 100 people in there.
Do you have it open all the time, or are you doing cohorts?
So I do cohorts, but like if someone reaches out to me between a cohort, I'll be like, you can just join early. You can get the modules, you can join the Facebook group, but you don't need to, but like your calls won't be starting for like a month, but like go ahead, get started. And like, I'll let them join some bonus calls or whatever. So technically it's open all the time, but you know, we want everyone to kind of like, for the majority to like start and end at the same time, so that they have that like those bonds and that support system. So yeah, in terms of like the money, if that was that, do you want to know about like how the money went?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So like year one was 6 figures. So I made like 100 grand in my first year. Second year was 300,000. Third year was 600,000. So that I had made $1 million by year 3, like a total of $1 million by year 3. And then I started making $1 million a year. So then it just kind of, so I will say like, and I don't really talk about the numbers anymore. I made just slightly more in 2020 than I did in 2019, but that was with half the amount of programs. Yeah. So I actually stopped doing high level coaching. So I actually had 2 masterminds. So I had like, cause like, it was like, I had all my clients that I'd worked with like forever. They were already making like multiple 6 figures. And then I would have the girls who just graduated from business school who were like about to hit their first 10K, but like not really there yet. And I didn't want to put them together. So I created like a middle mastermind, and it was just like way too much for me, for someone who just like, my goal is to like not work at all. So, so yeah, in 2021, I dropped both of those programs and focused everything on Chakra Girl Business School, and still made more money with only having that one program. And for me, with Chakra Girl Business School, I only get on 1 call a month. So it's like that, to me, it's given me so much like freedom, but then also I give so much more to them. Like if someone asks me a question in the Facebook group, you better believe I'm writing them like 3 paragraphs. Like, you know, it's like, I can give more to that container. And then I have like co-coaches in there that help, that specialize in different areas, who, you know, people that graduated business school who like fucking killed it. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but
you can swear.
Okay.
Totally fine.
Yeah. So then they help and coach and stuff. So the people are extremely freaking supported. So it's like, I like that I went through all of that to see what I liked the most. And for me, I always say, teach the thing that changed your life more than anything. And for me, that was starting my business. It wasn't scaling it to 6 figures. It wasn't scaling at 6 figures you can still do. And you can still create a 6-figure business with Chakra Girl Business School, but it wasn't scaling to multiple 6 figures. Because once I hit my first, so that $300,000 a year, I remember it was like October, and I had already hit like 250,000 or something like that. And my goal was 300. And I was like, I actually don't fucking care about money. Like, I actually don't care. Like, I worked my ass off, and I don't want to do that anymore. So it was like, once I had that shift, I think it was important for me to get there. And then it was like, okay, now, like, what's my plan to scale back? And it did take me like a year to like scale back to get where I am now, with like the few calls that I have to get on. But I think it was necessary to, like, for me anyways, I liked having coached at those all different levels to see what I liked best.
I've actually heard someone say that after 250,000 of like a take-home income, not like a top line revenue, like your lifestyle doesn't really change that much. Like up until there, you're like adding on all these, like, you can move to these beautiful places and eat anytime you like, all of the things. But like after that point, it's like,
I mean, for me, I will be honest, it did. Like, it has. There are changes in things, but to your point, in the feeling, not really.
Yeah.
Do I have more things, more expensive things? Yes. But could I go on really nice vacations and live my day-to-day life in the same way from like 250,000 to $1 million? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I will say, like, it's all mindset. Like, it depends whenever you hit your sweet spot. This is, and it's more mental, right? Like, it's like, now I feel grounded and safe. Like, now I know this is consistent and I feel grounded and safe. And that I always say, like, I know I'm 1 webinar away from 6 figures. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like, I could take as much time off as I want. Like, after my surgery, I took like 3 months off of selling. So I was like, I know no matter what and that's another reason, it doesn't matter, whatever. That's another reason I didn't make that much more year over year, was that I took 3 months off at the end of the year.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's like the feeling of safety and security, but that's all mental. And you could decide to feel that making 50 grand a year, depending on what your lifestyle is. I have a very fucking expensive lifestyle. So in order to maintain it, I need that milli.
Totally. Love it. So what does your support team look like? Or like your team in your business? And there's obviously going to be support team outside of your business.
Yeah. So Okay, so this is something that's transitioning. So my husband actually came to work with me full time in May 2019. So he left his job and came, and people are like, oh, that's my dream. You guys, it's not a fucking dream. Don't do it. Don't do it. And like,
I work with my husband too, and it's like a thing.
Right? Okay, so and here's why. And it's not that, oh, we're spending too much time together and it's making us fight, or we have different working styles. That's not what it is. I fully believe in any relationship, whether it's male, female, male, they, whatever, there is meant to be a balance of feminine and masculine energy. And every person will have an energy that is most natural to them. For me, even though I think, oh, I've like got a super masculine energy, that's not my natural energy. And when I am in my super masculine energy, I don't feel my best. Yeah. I feel my best when I am in my creative feminine flow. Mm-hmm. And he feels his best when he is in his masculine, his action, his providing, his purpose, right? So, okay, the book you need to read the book Intimate Communion.
Okay.
It's by David Dida. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
David Dida, yeah.
Dida. Okay, yeah. So amazing. So yeah. We just realized that there was this shift, there was like this dynamic in our energy that, I mean, maybe we could have fixed it and still working together in the same way, but I was just like, I don't really like this. Like, I don't really like this. So I'm like, no, I want to be like this woman. Like, I want to be this kept woman who, like, my business is just for fun. Like, yeah. I want to feel that way. I want to feel like my business is just for fun and it's like the bonus money. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we made that decision, he got all of these ideas and like all these things started happening for him. So it's like just that little energy shift. Anyway, so he still helps a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then we have like an OBM who helps with mostly like podcast and admin stuff. And then I have like the best fucking person ever. Shout out Laura. I'm also going to shout out her. She has her own business too, which is called Soul Body. And she's a breathwork facilitator. Book a session with her. She's amazing. She has been my co-coach in Chakra Girl Business School, but also is coming on full time with me. And I'm going to she was working full time for like a very popular, amazing company and like left them to work with me and to work on her business full time. And I'm just like so freaking grateful for her.
So is she going to stay in the co-coach role, or is she going to do other things within your business?
She's going to do other things. So she's basically coming on as we haven't like put a title on it, but essentially it's like going to be like a business manager, slash CMO, slash COO, everything. Basically I want to be the creative. I want her to be the CEO and for me to be the creative director. We'll see how that goes. Eventually that's the goal, whether it's her or someone else. But so her and I are actually working on like a second business together as well, which is like, I haven't really talked about much, but it's an online magazine. So she and I are working on that in partnership together. So she's amazing. And then what else? Then I had like a PR company who is like helping me get on podcasts and then helping me get people on my podcast, just because that's super time consuming. And then I had a social, so I'm not working with her any longer as of now, just because I'm just telling you everything. Whatever. I'm just transitioning Chakra Girl into being more of a community brand rather than I'm the Chakra Girl, making it like we're all Chakra Girls, and like kind of not fully removing myself, but like don't need to be the main event. So because we're in that transition, I'm just like, we're not clear on the PR message yet. So that's another thing Laura is helping me with. And then I had a social media team who was, managing my social media. And then same thing. I'm like, the messaging's not the same. Like I spent like $10,000 for them to create like this whole like brand vision direction. And we used that for like 8 months or something. And it was amazing. But now I'm like, hey, that's changing. And I don't really know exactly what it's going to be yet. So we're going to hit pause on that too. So I've been managing my own social media, but so that's it.
So that's it. For someone who sounds like you're in a more passive, not passive, you're you're in a supported role in your business, but you actually don't have a huge team by any means.
No.
So like pretty much OBM, the unnamed Laura position.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I have like other co-coaches in Chakra Girl Business School as well.
But no like customer service help or anything.
Well, no. The only customer service help is like within business school, which Laura deals with. And then if someone like emails that like buys one of my courses who has a question, usually my husband will just deal with that because he still deals with like the money stuff. He still deals with like money and tech stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening up.
Guys at the back door, like, damn, I never talk about. I love these questions because everyone always asks me the same shit, and I'm an open book. I'll tell people anything. So.
No, I mean, I love talking about the back end of businesses, so it's fun to hear.
Yeah.
So do you feel? What do you feel like your key factors were in your success for that? Like you got to 6 figures in your first year. Like, was that a few years of running the jewelry business that kind of prepared you for the first 6 figures, or you're just like, no, we're starting.
Like the transition from jewelry to that was like 6 months. Like it was like 6 months of trying to do the jewelry and then being like, actually, no, you know what it was? It was 3 months. And then it took me like 2 or 3 months to get the coaching business up. To be like, okay, I made the decision after like 3 or 4 months. And then it took me like a couple of months to get it up. So what was it for me? And like, honestly, like branding and like being true to yourself, like making your brand so that people fucking get it. And they're like, that's me. You know what I mean? Like being relatable, like being yourself, being relatable, like 100%. And every time I've rebranded or gotten done a new photo shoot or like anything like that, like it makes such a difference. And I would always ask people like in this discovery call, like forum, I would always say like, what compelled you to book a call or something like that? And so like probably 95% of the people would say your brand, your branding, your messaging just really resonates with me. So find like that. And again, it's like, it's not a strategy. It's like speak the way you speak, the way you would speak to the people you want to speak to, and speak to them like they're your best friends. Like that's it.
I would argue that I mean it has to partially be because you give a lot of permission to what could be considered like a taboo persona.
So that's what I mean. So that's what I mean. So by being, so love that you said that. So by being myself and not trying to be perfect and not saying I'm the most spiritual. Okay. So I love that you brought that up. So I actually talk about this in my course when we talk about solar plexus too. Whatever you're afraid people are going to think of you, make that your brand. If you're afraid people are going to like chills, right? If you're afraid people are going to think you're not spiritual enough, go out there and say, I'm not the most spiritual bitch on the block. And that's okay. If you're afraid people are going to think you're annoying, go out there and be loud and annoying. If you're afraid people are going to think you're like, whatever it is, like make like shadow integration, right? Like own the parts of you that maybe in the past you were ashamed of, or people shamed you for. And whatever you're afraid people are going to think about you, own it and make it yours.
So does that mean you have a lot of haters, or
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
That's the thing. I don't get haters. They only hate on you if you have that weakness and they see the weakness and they get in there. I've had a few haters, and when you can laugh it off and like all like I don't know, I literally don't get them. And I am always shook when people are like, none of my clients really get them either, because it's like I don't know, like I'll get like the odd comment, but the amount that I put myself out there and the amount of hate that I get is very small. I would say it's worse on, I really don't get much on Instagram. Like I would say maybe like literally 2 or 3 comments a year, if that. Like I don't even think that many, to be honest. And then I would say on my podcast, it's worse because on a podcast, there's no face-to-face and people have more balls. You know what I mean? Like no one can see who they are. If you send me a comment on Instagram, I'm going to see who you are unless you have a troll account. But on podcast, no one can see you. So, and people don't, it's hard to tell if you listen to one podcast episode, you don't really get the full picture of the brand and like what it's all about. So I have had people say like, why does she like the Kardashians or talk like a Kardashian and try to be spiritual? Like shit like that, like on my podcast comments. And I'm just like, whatever. So it doesn't, it like, has it bothered me in the past? Did the first few times bother me? Yes. But again, it's just like the integration work. And it's like, whenever someone hates on you or like shames you, it's like, okay, do I actually think this about myself? And if you do, then change it. And if you don't, then who cares?
Okay. Love that. So we only have 14 minutes left. So I'm like, okay, let's get through some more questions. What are your daily rituals? I have a feeling they change all the time, but what are they now?
Okay. So the consistence is every single morning before I even like the second I open my eyes, like I'll put my hands on my heart and I'll just like feel gratitude in my heart. I'll usually like think of my dog or my husband or just like feel those like, oh, like I'm so grateful. And then I'll like open up when I get out of bed, I'll like open up my curtains and be like, oh, it's a new day. And I'll stand there and I'll do like a quick standing meditation, like literally like 10 seconds or 15 seconds where I'll just like feel, cause I can like see the ocean and I'll just kind of like breathe love into my heart. And then I'll push the love down through my feet and connect to like the core of the earth and like feel like centering and grounding and pull energy from the earth up into my heart. And then I'll push energy up into the cosmos, connect with the cosmos, and then receive energy, cosmic energy, and then let the earth energy and the cosmic energy alchemize in my heart. And I'll breathe energy out into my aura. And then I'll do like a clearing. And then this all takes me like 50. It takes way longer to say than it takes to do. And then I'll put like a protection over the aura. And then I'll, drink water, have coffee with my husband. Like we have coffee hour in the morning and it's like my favorite time of the day. We'll pet our dog. We've got like our little routine, walk the dog, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'll do my altar before that, depending like if my husband's awake or whatever. And then I'll sit at my altar and I will, either after the walk or before the walk. And I will do, just like a quick meditation, whatever I feel, maybe some tapping, pull a card. I'll always do like a little bit of Palo Santo, light a candle. And just like whatever I'm like feeling that day, if I'm, feeling really good, I'll, amplify that. If I'm not feeling great, I'll do some kind of like clearing. And I just kind of keep it simple. And I, work out every day pretty much, or do something for my body. Even again, like I said, if it's just going for a walk, like I'm always kind of doing something. I always like suggest like with chakra work, it's like do something for your mind, your body, your soul, and your energy every morning. And it's pretty easy to get that done. Mm-hmm.
So you don't do anything with goddesses?
Oh, I mean, depends. So like I have tons of goddesses on my altar, and like the card decks that I have are goddess cards. So right now I'm using the Kali deck a lot. So I'll usually, like I said, like if there's something that I'm like, I need to release this or I need more answers on this, I'll kind of like speak directly to Kali, and then I'll pull a card from the Kali deck for some guidance. And there's usually like a little like mantra or something in there. But I do sometimes do like a 40-day goddess devotion. So I'll like pick a goddess that I want to embody and I'll do like a 40-day mantra. I'm just not really doing that currently, but I'm still working with Kali just in that kind of lighter way.
A light way to work with Kali.
Light way, yeah. don't want to go all in with Kali. She scares me.
So what are you trying to manifest right now?
Ooh, so my husband and I are manifesting a lake house. So in Vancouver, we have a wine country that's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from here. And it's like there's like the beautiful lake. It's called the Okanagan. There's like the lake. There's like beautiful golf courses, wineries. Like it's just like beautiful. And so we're manifesting a house and a boat by the summer. That's so
our
also like our OG. I mean, our ultimate big vision is a vineyard in Italy. Like that's the big vision. And that was, we were going to work on getting that before the Okanagan house. But because of the way things are, I'm not getting the vaccine. So if that's going to be like required for travel, I'm going to wait until that gets overthrown before, I'm like, fine, I won't get it. Like, give me a house on the lake and a boat. I don't need to go anywhere.
I know. Isn't it trippy? Like I'm in the middle of the ocean, the most remote place ever. And me and my husband are like, I guess we're just going to be here for a while.
I know. So, I mean, what a great place to be isolated.
Yeah. I mean, I miss family. It's been a while, but it's absolutely like we're 4 minutes from the beach. It's stunning.
Yes,
but
so nice.
So what have been your favorite recent purchases for your business and then for pleasure?
Laura.
Counts.
Laura. So there's that. What else? I can't say this yet, but let's just say I'm gonna give like some like hints. So the online magazine that I'm starting, there's another online magazine that inspired me to start it. And there's a girl who was one of the first 3 employees of said online magazine who is going to be a consultant for us. So that's all I'm going to say. But it's not official yet. No papers are signed, but the verbal commitments have been made. And she's going to do our social media.
Cool.
So there's that.
Timing. When is it coming out? Ish.
I mean, everything. So
like,
we're going like big girl business with this. Yeah. I want to get investors. Like I want to get like, this is going to be like a big thing. So, I mean, we are thinking soft launch April.
Okay.
And then hard launch would probably be like tail end of summer. Because we want to go big with the hard launch and do like a celebrity summit. So that's the goal for that.
It's 2021, you guys, just so you know.
Wait, did I say 2020?
No. I was just, in case people are listening at some future point in time.
2021. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah. Personal purchases. Did you ask for personal purchases?
For pleasure.
Okay. This is actually a funny story. So my husband bought me a Cartier ring for my birthday, and I wore it to Whistler, and I went in the hot tub and it got stuck on my finger and I had to get it cut off. But it's okay, because when you get a ring resized, they have to cut it anyways. So I can just get it resized and make it bigger, and fine. It's fine. So it's like in this like little Ziploc baggie right now, like all cut off. Like thanks for the gift.
Oh.
I was like trying to take it off, and I like sprained my finger trying to take it off.
Oh my God.
And like the swelling wouldn't go down. So like I waited like a week of this thing. Like,
oh my gosh.
It was like so uncomfortable, so annoying. And then I drove all the way. It was like a fucking saga. It took like a month. I don't know why I said that. It took an hour to get to this place. Because they had like, I did like this online deep dive of, I found this contraption that could like compress your finger, and then you could slide the ring off. And I like contacted the manufacturer, then I contacted the Canadian distributor, and I like tracked down like who had this machine. And there was this guy like an hour away that had it, that owned this little jewelry store. So I drove all the way there, and then it didn't work. So then I was like, just cut it off, just get it off me. So he took it off, and it was great. And it was ironic. Okay, this is a weird thing. This might be a stretch, but I feel like this was some kind of sign. The mall was actually this mall that I worked in when I was younger. And then it was like this store that I worked at had these like foreclosure signs on it. And I was like, this is some kind of symbolism. Like I'm cutting off a ring, which is a circle. And like, it's like I'm ending some kind of cycle that started when I worked in this store. Like it was like, this is something, like it's something. So I think I know what it means, but it's just kind of crazy. Anyways, sorry, long-winded answers are coming today. Next question.
Good. I love it. Okay. So where can people find you? How can people go deeper with you? All the things.
So Instagram is always the best way. So you can find me at Chakra Girl Co. If you are like, okay, I need to figure out what chakra is blocked, you can go to quiz.chakragirlco.com. It's just like a fun little quiz, very like lots of pop culture references. And then DM me on Instagram. Those are kind of my website, chakragirlco.com. But yeah, let me know what you need. I got you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun. And any final words of wisdom for all of us?
I think like right now more than ever, like we all have like a purpose to serve. And if we can look at our own shadows and the lessons that we've learned in our own lives, even if we're still learning them, that's what the world needs from you. So share, be vulnerable, be real, and you're going to help people while also elevating yourself. There is a quote from the Real Housewife of New York, Carol Radswell. And she said, I can't remember the exact words, but I think it was, communicating your pain is a way to emancipate yourself while empowering others. Okay. Don't say you never learned anything from a housewife.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's a good one. I've actually never watched the show, but
girl, start with Beverly Hills. You'll be hooked. I watched Beverly Hills, New York, OC, Salt Lake. There's so many. It's a big franchise. Okay.
That's an adult business right there.
Yes, literally.
Well, thank you all for listening, and go check out Amberly all of the places. Bye, guys.
Yes, thank you.
You guys, how good was that? Amberly's amazing. I'm really grateful that she came on the show, obviously. So I can't wait to hear your takeaways from this episode on Instagram at The Dirty Alchemy. Make sure if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to it so that you get notified when new episodes come out. They come out every single Thursday. And of course, reminder, go check out the Alchemical Business Intensive, which is open for application now. The link is in the show notes, or you can just go to our website, thedirtyalchemy.com, and go to any of the buttons that say join ABI or apply to ABI just to learn more about it. What's the curriculum for the 13 weeks, what transformation you'll actually get, and all the epic bonuses that come with it. So go do that now. It's amazing. Yeah.